Oklahoma City went 68-14 last year, then started this season by winning 24 of its first 25 games until they met the Spurs. San Antonio thumped the Thunder 3 times in 2 weeks because they present a very unique matchup for the champs. First, there's only one Wemby, and he single-handedly mucks up OKC's offense. Second, the Spurs guards can actually penetrate against OKC's incredible point-of-attack defenders, and they can do this without turning it over, which stops those easy runouts in transition. And at the same time, these guards can defend, so they aren't giving it all back when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder have the ball. There are also some lineup shenanigans I love in this matchup that we'll look at for members after this. But first, let's contextualize how dominant this OKC defense has been for nearly a season and a half. The Thunder's defensive rating was 7 points ahead of the league last season, which was top 15 all time. This year, they are about 11 points ahead, which would be first by a mile. And they've done this by largely swarming the ball to create turnovers with the best collection of hands on any team ever assembled. And those agile, versatile perimeter defenders keep the ball out of the paint, then use speed to recover quickly whenever help is needed. But against the Spurs, those defensive advantages disappear versus their 3-headed point guard monster. De'Aaron Fox is a blur and difficult to stay in front of, but he also has game. A midi there over Shai. He left Caruso in the dust on the prior play, and look at this up fake in traffic to finish. Stephon Castle isn't as fast as Fox, but he might be filthier and harder to contain. He's enormous at 6'7" in shoes, and at just 21 already has elite skill and veteran savvy working his way downhill. Because he's not a great shooter, Lou Dort wants to go under this screen. Castle uses the rescreen, little hezzy, and pass fake to freeze the big, then the slick finish. And this time, Caruso's trying to stop him. He goes way under the pick by design, so Steph crosses back into that space he left. And he's in the 81st percentile in efficiency on his drives, so even when he runs into a big, he can finish. Their third point guard is rookie Dylan Harper, who touches the paint even more per possession than his teammates, and he's 6'6" with the balance and body control of a 10-year veteran. That was a spin past Casey Wallace, but he has power too, using his size and body control to drive deep and then snap it to an open shooter. Harper's just 19, but he has incredible command and is an absolute wizard playing off 2 feet in the lane. On this drive, he feels Kaysen coming to help, slams on the brakes to avoid that reach-in, only to spin into that perfect layup pass. So they avoid turnovers that average players would commit against OKC and pass into the cracks. This level of skill and decision-making from these passers is critical against the Thunder swarming defense. So again, step 1, blow right by the defender. Then step 2 is to send Dort to the wrong shooter, so Fox no-looks it to the corner for a wide open shot. Normally the Thunder smother teams in these spots, like Caruso switching here to kill the action, but this is actually elite offense off of that pass because Castle no-looks Shai into the Phantom Realm. Dude has no idea where the ball went. And I love this one. Castle crosses one way, then back the other way. OKC loves to shrink the floor, so he skips it out to Harper, who then takes the baseline to set up the dime drop. Shout out J. Kyle Mann. And this one little ball fake moves just not one defender a touch, but freezes Shai, and this is how you break the Thunder defense. Because you either get downhill and make a manipulative or quick direct pass to create elite shots, or you manipulate their rotations and pass into the tiny windows in the defense. Castle breaks out the Smitty, and then another layup pass. And again, that little up fake hypnotizes Dort into not playing the pass from behind. You guys gotta help me. I keep asking him to take me to a game with one of his SeatGeek sign-up code discount things that he has, and he never does. Wait, you're not supposed to be able to start an ad?
We're in an ad right now?
Yeah, you know, the #1 rated ticket app and all that stuff. I just used them recently to get that parking space at the Lakers game we went to, remember? Just scout the distance from the arena, find a great deal basically right next to the gymnasium, and it doesn't get much easier than that.
Oh, wow. I thought it was just great seats at sports and concerts and festivals and all that.
Well, the seats are great too, obviously. They use the 1 to 10 scale so you can tell how good the deal is. It comes with the buy or back guarantee. And of course, we have a discount code for our viewers. It's 10% off with the code THINKING10 on your next set of tickets. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code THINKING10. Click the link in the description to download the app and have our code automatically added to your account so you can use it later.
So they use the code and then it helps the channel.
Exactly. This way SeatGeek knows people watched me talk to myself. The Spurs are the only team in the league with 3 elite penetrating guards who can pass and manipulate defenders on multiple levels like this, and they have Victor Wembanyama. Wemby's gravity plays a role here on offense. You may have noticed Caruso guarding him. Then on the roll, Chet Holmgren's not just tagging him to recover back to the shooter, he's actually switching to Wemby so Isaiah Joe can avoid a mismatch. So Victor's compounding the effects of these guards manipulating the defenders. And he even amplifies their paint touches at times, here pulling the shot blocker out so Fox can finish around smaller players. But of course, the Wemby effect is really about the defensive side, where he completely shuts down the paint for the Thunder. So this is the inverse of what we just saw, where Oklahoma City can't easily get near the basket when Vic's on the floor, so they end up idly passing it back out to the perimeter on more and more possessions and end up with weaker shots, like this desperation heave from Shai against the shot clock. Sometimes Victor will just switch with his closest teammate to keep himself near the baseline, even if that puts a smaller player on someone like Holmgren. This way, Victor shuts off the basket, and those speedy Spurs guards just rotate around the perimeter to recover, and Fox blocks Chet anyway. So option 1 is this one-man zone idea, where Wemby's staying low and just switching anyone else out to the perimeter if his original assignment happens to pop out, and then OKC doesn't even try to shoot near the basket when he's lurking there. But the base matchup they've used in this series for Wemby is to guard Alex Caruso. That puts a quicker forward on Chet, which works when he's facing up on the perimeter. And more importantly, it allows Wemby to stalk Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He just sits in his sweet spot here and dares Caruso to shoot. So you look at a play like this one and think, wow, SGA is hunting the Julian Champagny matchup because he's going to cook him. Gets right to his sweet spot and then runs into Wemby? And this is because Wemby is essentially the primary defender for Shai. He's just waiting at the free throw line, doesn't even let him shoot, and then Victor is literally inviting Caruso to shoot threes instead. And in certain situations, you'll even see Wemby just all-out double SGA on the catch. Caruso cuts here, but Fox is there. Harper's in perfect position, and that's another veteran play from him. Normally, we'd see SGA make a move like this in the paint and get free throws or a layup, but Wemby roams over to kill it. And after playing it conservatively in the first 2 games, Caruso took 12 threes in their last meeting, making just 2 of them. OKC tried to counter this late in the last game by using Caruso as a second screener. Wemby then wants Fox to switch out, but here's the thing. If Wemby ends up switching out, Shai's just stuck dealing with him directly, and that is also a dead end. But to be clear, this isn't just a Caruso thing. Wemby roams off Hartenstein here to scare Shai right out of the shot. And on this play, he ends up on AJ Mitchell, then switches with Champagny so he can become the low man defender to appear out of nowhere and force Shai into a turnover. With Victor off the floor in their 3 meetings, the Thunder are shooting 65% inside 10 feet on 51 attempts per 100 possessions. But with Wemby on the court, they're shooting way worse, just 51%, and they're rarely shooting, taking only 36 attempts every 100 possessions. And this entire thing works because these big guards can defend as well, with Castle serving as the primary on-ball defender against Shai, But if Harper needs to guard him, that's yet another big body that can execute the scheme or cause problems. As a bonus, Castle guarding Chet means he can switch the pick and roll with Shai, so that thing goes nowhere. Wemby's in to help, so there's no mismatch, and they have to work hard just to get a decent shot. AJ Mitchell didn't play in the last 2 games. Jalen Williams is still integrating back into the lineup, and the Thunder had a big lead in that first game before losing a tight one in Vegas. So by no means is this an unwinnable matchup for them. But it is a very rare instance of a dominant title team running into a seriously problematic matchup. The Spurs are obviously very good, but OKC pushed ahead of the league with their fast horizontal defense and SGA's isolation game, and after 3 games, the Spurs have presented a counter to that formula. Just get 3 big penetrating guards who can pass and defend, and surround them with an alien.
To support this channel, patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. That's where we have proprietary stats on teams and players throughout the year. We also have a Discord community, and you can get all of our extra video content over there, or sign up on YouTube as a member, where we also live stream the podcast. Thanks for watching all the way to the end on this one. Hope you enjoyed it and that you are having a great day.